Let me set the stage. It's 2012. The company I worked for just IPO'd, and I watched my net worth go up by $3 million in a matter of minutes. For the next few days, I was on cloud 9, but then this sinking feeling started to creep in. I now had all this newfound money, but I was terrified that I was going to screw it up somehow, either by making a bad investment or not doing anything at all. I tried to set myself at ease by knowing that I had a meeting with Morgan Stanley in just a few days, and they were going to give me a clear playbook of how to make the most of this windfall. That's not exactly what happened. When I walked into their office, the advisor proceeded to take the next 30 minutes of giving me the same recommendations that he gives to somebody with $100K stashed away in a 401k. Put 90% in stocks and bonds and leave 10% in cash. He just didn't understand how to help somebody like me, somebody who wanted to take ownership of their wealth. And that's how I discovered the financial dead zone. If you have between $1 and $30 million net worth, you're probably stuck there right now too. In this video, I'm going to show you the exact 3-phase blueprint I used to escape it and systematically build my wealth to over 8 million while living entirely off the income. Now, you might think my experience with Morgan Stanley was just one bad advisor, but the more I dug into this, the more I realized it's a systematic problem. The wealth management industry is designed for two extremes: basic personal finance for people with under $1 million and full service family offices for people with over $100 million. If you're stuck in between with $1 to $30 million, you're stuck in this financial dead zone. The average financial advisor charges you 1% per year to put your money in the same portfolios they give to everyone else. On a $5 million portfolio, that's $50,000 per year for advice that you could get with ChatGPT. Meanwhile, you're missing out on the strategies that actually build serious wealth. But here's what keeps people stuck. They think these strategies are too complicated or risky, so they do nothing. After that disappointing meeting, I realized I had two choices: stay stuck with generic advice or figure out how wealthy families actually manage their money. So I started studying single family offices, the private organizations that manage $100 million for ultra wealthy families. And what I discovered changed everything. Ultra wealthy families don't just invest in hope. They treat their wealth like a business with systematic processes, clear organizational structures, and focus on assets that generate income, not just appreciate. I couldn't afford a $2 million per year family office, but I could build a micro family office, taking the best strategies from ultra wealthy families and scaling them down for my level of assets. Let me show you exactly what happened when I stopped managing my wealth like an amateur and started treating it like the business it actually is. The results speak for themselves. Within 5 years, I built a portfolio generating enough income to cover all my family's essential living expenses. I went from salary dependent to financial freedom in a short period of time. This year, my portfolio will generate close to $200,000 in passive income. This wasn't luck or perfect timing. It was implementing a systematic approach that treats wealth management like running a business. So how do you escape the financial dead zone? Let me break down the exact 3-phase blueprint. I call phase number 1 of this architect phase. And here you're setting up your strategic foundation. This is exactly where most people get it wrong. They start investing before they have a clear strategy. You should always begin with your legacy statement. Now, I'm not talking about some generic financial freedom goal, but a specific vision. What does wealth mean to your family? Are you building for early retirement, generational transfer, or maximum lifestyle freedom? This becomes your North Star for every decision and is required to create the next thing, which is your investment thesis. The investment thesis is your personalized framework based on your risk tolerance, timeline, and income needs. For example, mine focuses on 48% growth investments, 47% on income investments, and 5% on capital preservation. But yours might be completely different based on your goals. Once you have that strategic clarity, your legacy statement and investment thesis, everything else becomes implementation. But here's also where most people stumble. They think now they can just start buying investments. Wrong. You need infrastructure first. This is what we set up in phase 2. I call this the build phase. This is where we take your strategy from phase 1 and build the entity and the system to execute it efficiently. First, you establish your portfolio business structure. This isn't just for the ultra wealthy. Even with $1 to $5 million net worth, proper structuring can save you tens of thousands annually in taxes. Then you build your team. But here's the key. You don't need full-time employees. You need the right fractional specialists, such as tax strategists who understand alternative investments and is aligned with your investment thesis, an estate attorney who can ensure your assets are protected, and a bookkeeper to keep you out of the administrative work. You'll also implement your technology stack in this phase. We use tech to enable us to run our microfamily offices very efficient and keep our costs down. That means more money to invest. Now we're moving into phase 3, which I call the run phase. Now here's where it gets exciting. You've got your strategy dialed in from phase 1. Now you've built your team, entity, and systems in phase 2. Now it's time to flip the switch and start operating like a wealth building machine that you've become. In this phase, you create your investment processes. How do you evaluate private equity investments? What's your due diligence checklist for real estate? Having systematic processes prevents costly mistakes from emotional investing. You also establish regular review cycles, monthly cash flow reviews, quarterly investment reviews, and annual strategic planning sessions. Just like any business, you're tracking key performance indicators, total return, cash flow generation, tax efficiency, and progress towards your legacy goals. You implement systematic rebalancing. Instead of emotional buying and selling, you follow predetermined rules. If private equity grows beyond your target allocation, you systematically harvest gains and redeploy to your underweighted areas. You also activate advanced strategies most people never access. This includes like charitable trusts for tax-efficient giving and opportunity zone investments for tax deferral, just to name a few. The result, your wealth grows systematically while requiring less daily attention, not more. You're making strategic decisions based on data and your predetermined framework, not just market emotions or the latest investment fad. Now, let me tell you why this approach is so powerful compared to the scattered, reactive approach that most people take. It's the compound effect. Each phase builds on the other. Your clear strategy from phase 1 guides your infrastructure decisions in phase 2, which enables efficient operations in phase 3. Most people want to jump straight to phase 3 without laying the crucial foundations of phase 1 and 2. I'm going to say, please don't do this. It will come back to bite you later. Without this systematic approach, you're basically gambling with millions. With it, you're operating a wealth-generating machine that can systematically take you from 1 million to 10 million and beyond. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. This sounds complicated. I don't have time to learn all this. Here's the truth. Once you have the right systems in place, managing wealth this way actually takes less time and less stress than the amateur approach. Instead of constantly worrying about your investments or second-guessing every decision, you're following a proven playbook. And yes, there is a learning curve, but remember, you've already proven that you can build wealth. You got to your first million. Now it's just about applying the same systematic thinking that made you successful in your career to your personal wealth. The families who stay wealthy for generations didn't get there by accident. They got there by treating wealth management like any other important business function, with systems, processes, and clear accountability. If you have between $1 and $30 million in net worth and you're ready to start managing your wealth like a business instead of hoping generic advice will get you to $10 million, I want to help you implement this exact blueprint. Head to wealthops.io or click the link below this video. I will show you exactly how to architect, build, and run your own micro-family office using the same strategies that ultra-wealthy families use to build generational wealth. Don't let another year go by stuck in the financial dead zone. Your wealth deserves better than generic advice and cookie-cutter portfolios. And if you want to see exactly how this plays out in real life, check out this video right here, where I break down how you can generate $20,000 of monthly cash flow from a $3 million portfolio.